Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I'm Monica, and I am doing the last episode, like the last official episode of my Foundation 5 series. So I've tried 4 other foundations on and off camera, so if you haven't checked those episodes out, go check out the first 4 episodes, and then watch today's, and then come back tomorrow for the full-fledged review video where I hit all the major details of these foundations after thoroughly testing them out for about 3 weeks now. So the foundation that we're trying today, I'm very excited about. It is the KVD Beauty Good Apple Full Coverage Transfer Proof Serum Foundation. So very long name. I have heard nobody talk about this. In fact, I have not even seen an official launch post from like Tread Mood or KVD Beauty themselves, and I follow both of them on Instagram because that's how I keep up with things. Okay, so I'm editing this video on February 7th, and the foundation was officially released to the public for sale yesterday, February 6th. And the official announcement for this foundation on both Tread Mood and KVD Beauty's Instagram was sent out on January 30th, was posted on January 30th. So I guess my local Ulta releases a little early because I mentioned this later, but I filmed this video on January 26th. And so the official announcement for this foundation was 4 days after I actually filmed this video. So that's what's going on there, and thought I would let you know now that I know some more stuff. But anyway, yeah, back to the video. But I was just meandering around Ulta yesterday, and I saw this, and I was like, that's new, I think. So I wanted to test it out for you guys. And when I went to look it up online, I found the description and the details and stuff on both KVD Beauty and Ulta's website, but all the shades are blurred out. So I'm wondering if this is not supposed to be officially launched yet. This has happened a couple of times before where I like buy things from Ulta that have not been like officially released. In fact, the first foundation that I tried, the Revlon Illuminance one, was not officially released until after I filmed it, and I did not realize it. So I filmed that video before it was officially released, and then I got like all the notifications from Revlon and all the, posting, all the Instagram accounts that like talk about new launches later than I actually filmed that video. So this has happened a couple of times with Ulta. I'm not complaining though, because it lets me get a jump on things. But yeah, so I'm thinking that's what's going on. I'm filming this on January 26th. So you're seeing it like approximately 2 weeks after. So I'll be editing this later than I'm filming it. So if I get any updates between now and when this video is up and during editing, or, before I edit, I'll put it on the screen and let you know anything I find out. But this foundation is a whopping $42 for 1.01 ounces. So you get a standard foundation size. Love the bottle, by the way. Super slim and cute and just very beautiful. It's beautiful. You get an extra 0.1 ounce of this foundation. So, I mean, if that's worth anything to you. So this comes in 40 shades, which is great. It goes very deep. It's looking like on the website. I don't know what that shade looks like in person. Okay, so this was the TikToker that I referenced the other day in the Essence video. Gloria, I think is how you pronounce her name. Well, she's the one who tests all the darkest shades of foundations in various different ranges from various brands. And she was mentioning that this foundation has a really weird undertone, kind of like grayish or like greenish or something. So I believe that's what she's talking about here. But I just wanted to mention that since I was like kind of praising that they had a pretty deep shade range, it's looking like their undertones are a little weird in that area. So just in case you're somebody who kind of, has that type of shade, or you're, you got a skin tone like that, I just wanted to let you guys know. By the way, I did want to say that this shade is light 024 and it's way too dark for me. But when I was meandering around Ulta and I saw this, every other shade that was remotely close to my skin tone was gone, completely sold out. So I just got the one that was the lightest, and I'm very well aware that it's too dark. Realistically, I think that I would probably be light 012, which is light with neutral undertones. I think just based on what I'm looking at on both KVD's website and Ulta's, that's what's looking closest to my arm shade, and I match all my foundations to my arm, so and not my face, because my face is lighter than my arm and it looks weird when I do that. Anyway, so I did want to just touch on that. So let's talk about the details of this foundation. So this foundation is formulated with quince leaf extract, and this is supposed to help reduce shine. It also has nourishing apple extract and glycerin, and this is supposed to help keep the skin looking fresh. I have tried the KVD Good Apple Balm Foundation, I think is what it's called, and I didn't like it. It was really weird on me. It just got like really shiny and it was like really unflattering. This is 100% vegan and cruelty free. And it comes in Luxe recyclable glass bottle with a pump that's designed to cut down on foundation waste. And it also has flexible elastomer pigments that bend with your skin for a seamless finish. So that's awesome. Let's talk about the claims. So this says that it's supposed to cover everything from blemishes to acne scars. It's supposed to also cover hyperpigmentation and discoloration. So you'll see when I have no foundation on, then I've got some stuff to cover. So we're going to test that out today. This is also supposed to be best for combo to oily skin. It's supposed to be sweat and humidity resistant. It's supposed to also blur pores and keep the shine in check all day. It's supposed to provide a natural finish that's supposed to be transfer proof, extremely long wearing, and it's supposed to have a lightweight serum feel. And it says that you've never seen natural full coverage like this. So we're gonna see everything that it's claimed today. Is it true? We're gonna see that. But I'm super excited to try it out for you guys since I haven't heard nobody talk about it or anything about it. I'm interested to see if, based on what it's saying on their websites, if this is true. And the application portion, of course, I'm going to do what I always do and go with a Blendiful on this side and then a brush on this side and then smooth it out with a sponge. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the application portion to see how this foundation works. All right, so I am prepped and primed and ready to go. So we're just gonna shake it up, put it on the palette. I love the fact that this is so thin. Go ahead and put it on the palette and see what the texture is looking like. This is a very similar texture to the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. This is a little bit runnier than pretty much every other foundation that I've tried in this series except for the Revlon one. I think that this one and the Revlon one had a pretty similar consistency where it's relatively runny. I'm just gonna start on my face. Of course, this is the right side is the side that's primed. Oh, okay. Don't look at the shade. I know it's wrong, okay? But I wanted to try it out for you guys. Wow, this is way full coverage off that. Wow. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. I guess because I was reading that it says buildable full. So to me that implies that, you know, if you go in with it on the first layer, unless you go in like super heavy handed, it is not going to be full. It'd probably be medium or medium to full. But no, that's pretty high coverage. Don't look at the shade. Again, please don't look at the shade. It's definitely too dark. But we're gonna just work with it today and we're not gonna pay attention to the shade. I have an itch on my nose, oh my gosh. So that is very coveragey. It's almost got like a soft matte look to the skin. I guess I was expecting this to be a little bit more natural looking. It says that it's supposed to have a natural finish. And to me, this is more like a soft matte, like not quite satin, which is what I associate with natural. A lot of coverage on that one layer. So that's good to know. I'm gonna try to build this up after I do this side because I want to see the buildability because it does claim to have some buildability to it. But I don't think I need that. I'm just gonna do it for the sake of the video. So now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna do the brush on this side. By the way, this is looking very smooth, went on very nicely. Like I said, it's a little bit more matte than I was expecting, but I mean, that's okay. So let's just go on this side. So it's going on nicely with the brush. No brush strokiness or anything, if you can sort of see. It's going on beautifully. Just gonna drag it up to my forehead. I'm having a little bit of problem on my nose with it blending. Hopefully you can see this. It's like not covering on this side with the brush. So that's interesting. I wonder if I can kind of sort of smooth that out here in a second after I finish up on my forehead. Okay, I cannot seem to get it to blend correctly on my nose, which I wasn't expecting. Like, I actually was kind of shocked by that. It's just kind of splotchy looking. And so I'm interested to see how it's going to build there. My nose is my problem area. I've mentioned it a couple times in other videos. So I definitely like, this is the area that determines the foundation for me. I'm also getting just a slight bit of like brush strokiness up here on my forehead. But it is looking really beautiful on the cheeks and pretty good on the chin as well. I'm just having a little bit of brush strokiness up here and I can't seem to get it to blend as much on my nose as I would like, especially on the brush side. But let's try a second layer, even though I don't really think I need that much coverage on my cheeks or anything. I just need a little bit of help in the nose area. But regardless, I like to see how each foundation builds. So I want to see how this builds, especially since it's claiming to be buildable. 1 pump for buildable full coverage, 2+ pumps for instant full coverage. Well, I definitely got more than 1 pump on my palette, so maybe that's it, but I didn't put it directly on my face. I always put it on a palette and go from there. So I don't think I like went in straight with 2+ pumps on my whole face. But anyway, yeah, so it does say buildable. Like there is the word buildable in this description. So I'm just gonna go in kind of lightly. I don't want to have too much on my Blendiful because I don't really need that much more coverage. It is building up, I mean, nicely in terms of it's laying on top of it pretty good. And I'm not seeing any patchiness or anything. It seems to be sitting better on my nose on the side that I'm using the Blendiful on and not a brush. I'm interested to see how it's going to go on that second layer on the nose with the brush, because with the Blendiful, it's looking pretty good on my nose now. It's not perfect. This is not the best that my nose has ever looked with foundation on top of it, except for like the tip of my nose isn't holding on to this very well. You can sort of see, I don't know if you can, I'm just hoping you can. Let's try a second layer with the brush and just see. I mean, okay, so it is going on pretty well on the cheeks with the second layer, like no brush strokiness or anything like that. Moment of truth. The tip of my nose is not cooperating. It's kind of patchy on both sides. Like it's mostly patchy on the brush side, but like in the middle where I put the Blendiful, there's like a little group of missing makeup where my pores are pretty obvious. Like we are so close to my face right now, it's making me uncomfortable. Actually, I'm really not that uncomfortable. I'm trying to show you how this works, but it's just not blending very well on my nose. Hopefully you can sort of see in this clip that I'm showing you, because it's just not blending very well over it at all on the tip, and the brush side isn't horrible. There's a little bit of like just patchiness up here. I still have a little bit of patchiness up here on the brush side, and I just cannot get it to blend on my nose. This isn't going the way I wanted it to. I wanted it to be good. I mean, it's not like it's bad, but initially I'm just not overly impressed with it. Like I just don't necessarily think it's worth the price tag with this situation. And it is pretty matte. And obviously I'm going to drag this on my neck because it's way too dark. I think it does look really pretty, but it's definitely like, oh, I'm wearing makeup. Like, it's very obvious. I'm going to go in on the rest of my face with, you know, the rest of my makeup, and I'm going to see how everything applies on top of it. I do think I'm going to spot conceal just to see how the Catrice wears over it. This is significantly lighter though, so maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe not. We'll see. I do like to spot conceal during these, you know, first impressions videos because I want to see how the, you know, concealer and foundation play. If I felt the need to spot conceal if I use this foundation in the future. I don't really think I'm going to need to, but I do like to see that because it's kind of a deciding factor for me. I'm just going to see how this all applies over it. Now that I've rambled for a while, I'm going to go finish getting ready, and I'm going to come back with my initial thoughts on it and let you guys know. I'm going to get a clip in natural lighting and all that good stuff. So I will see you guys in a second. Okay, so actually I'm back because when I went to put concealer in my eyes, I realized that I forgot to show you guys if the sponge helps. I did spot conceal this and it's like a different color. So we'll try to fix that. It's really just a shade thing, I think. I actually am gonna go around the concealer on this side and just see, you know, if the sponge does anything. So let's just go in with this Milani sponge and see if that does anything. It's looking really smooth right now already, except for my nose, which just seems to progressively get worse. It really didn't do much. I wish it would have done something with this messed up color, but we'll fix that on the side, whatever. But it really didn't do much. I don't really think it really needed anything. I don't think the sponge would really help. So now I really am gonna go finish the rest of my makeup, blend out the the concealer and see how everything wears, and I'll be back in just a second to tell you guys how everything went on top. Okay, so the makeup is all on, and the bronzer, blush, and highlighter did not apply with any problems. It went over very smoothly. I put very minimal powder on because this just was such a matte looking formula to me on my skin. It didn't look super natural at all. And it certainly did not feel serumy. I wanted to touch on the fact that it's claiming to have like a lightweight serum feel. I don't agree at all. I wouldn't put the word serum next to this foundation in the slightest. It's definitely more of like a soft matte, and it dries down like, you know, pretty matte. I know I keep saying that word. And to me, serum implies that it's almost got like a little bit more of a natural finish, like the satiny that I was talking about in the application portion. It is lightweight. Like, I don't feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. I look like I'm wearing makeup. Not like a ton or anything. Like, I don't think it looks bad, but I'm not in love with it. It just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it took the life right out of my skin. In terms of like that it is so matte, and that's not really my preference anymore. Now, if you have super oily skin, I think that you could really like this because it would neutralize that oiliness, like it would balance it out. But for me, I have like combination to dry skin in the winter, combination skin just in general, and it gets drier in the winter. So I think I'm like definitely seeing what this looks like on a little bit more of a drier skin type. It does say that it's best for combo to oily skin, and I would definitely say it's best for oily skin. Everything applied pretty nicely over the top. I did go ahead and get a clip in natural lighting, and it's definitely very makeup-y looking outside. I'm hoping the camera will be able to capture that a little bit, but especially in person, like it's definitely quite makeup-y, very full coverage. Like this would be good for like a night out kind of thing. I'm not in love with it on my skin. I think it's very makeup-y looking, and it definitely provides some serious coverage. And I mean, I'm fine like looking like this. I do like have this urge to spray on some dewy setting spray to kind of balance out the finish I've got going, since it is leaning a little bit more matte on me. But I'm of course not going to. I only set my under eyes with loose powder, and I didn't set any of my expression lines or anything. So we're gonna see how that works out. It is 11:05 right now. So I finished my makeup at about 10:40-ish to 10:45, but I think I'm just going to do on the mark from like 11. I think I'm going to do like check-in at 3 o'clock, check-in at 7 o'clock, and then of course check-in at 11 o'clock tonight, because it's easier to do it like at an even time instead of like 10:45 or something like that, you know, at a 45. So anyway, that is what's kind of going on for now. I'm interested to see how this wears. So I will see you guys in the first check-in. Welcome to the first check-in. It is 3 o'clock. Hopefully you guys can see me. So there are a few things to note. So everything is looking relatively good for the first 4 hours, but maybe if you can see, I'll try to get a shot. There's like the sun's like awkwardly right there. It's starting to crease right here, only on this side, which is like my problem smile line. And it is starting to go ahead and crease there. So that's not looking so good. Hopefully you can sort of see, like I said, the lighting is kind of iffy in here, but that's kind of starting to happen. That's a little concerning. Other than that, like it's looking fine. Still like pretty makeup-y. Like you can still see that I'm wearing makeup quite obviously. So it's not like super seamless, like skin-like or anything like that. It doesn't really claim to be, but it does say to be like lightweight and serumy, but it's not serumy, or like a lightweight serum feel. So yeah, I just wanted to take note of that. I'll keep you guys posted on that, of course, throughout the rest of the day, but I did want to go ahead and say that. Other than that, though, it is looking pretty good for what it is. I'm just not in love with it, so I don't think I'm going to love it at all as it wears longer. I think I'm just going to dislike it more. But I will keep you guys posted, and I will see you at 7 o'clock for the second check-in. I just looked at the footage I just filmed and also an up-close shot I got to show you the smile line, and I'm noticing that it's also creasing in my nose right here and a little bit on this side as well. So I'm not loving that. I'm not in love with this foundation. So it's the second check-in. We're here with Thomas.
Hey.
And what do you think of the foundation?
I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's a little dewy, but I like it.
Do you like it? What do you like about it?
I guess it's just a good color.
Really?
Yeah, and it stays on well.
This is the worst color that I've had so far. It really is like a horrible shade match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I'm going to show you the footage after this of me putting it on. but it was the only shade they had.
I guess in the light today it didn't look bad.
Well, that's actually good. I'm glad you like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I've seen way worse.
Well, yeah, I've seen way worse, but I don't like it.
Okay.
Well, let me explain why.
Okay.
So, it's not the worst foundation in the world. I'm kind of feeling the same way I was feeling about the Makeup by Mario one, which was the $42 one before this. And this one was also $42. But for me, it's cracking. Like in my smile lens. Do you kind of see what I'm
yeah, I see that now.
Yeah, I'm going to get an up-close shot while I'm talking, and I'll insert it here. But it started doing that really early on. And for me, it kind of looks makeup-y. Like, I feel like I kind of look like I have, like, a decent amount of makeup on, whereas normally I would like it to look a little bit more natural.
I got you.
I just think it's funny that you like it.
I see it cracking now. Well, the color wasn't the problem.
Which I find shocking because the color is quite off, but I'll show that to you in a second. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys. It's not the worst foundation in the world. Oh, but it is starting to crease on this side, and then like I mentioned earlier, in my nose creases, and then on this smile line, which is more prominent on me. It's just not my favorite. I don't think it's worth $42.
No.
I like my favorite foundation. I mentioned it 20,000 times in this series alone, and just in general over the years on my channel, is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. And I like the other, like, I like the drugstore foundations I tried in this series more than this, and one of those was $6.99. And so I'm just not seeing why, I'm not seeing what's so special about it. Pretty much is where I'm at. Like, I don't think it's horrible. I will use it up, but I don't think I would ever buy it again.
Yeah, it makes sense. For $42, I agree.
Of course you do. For $42, it better change my life. So thank you, though, for your input. I found it very interesting.
You're welcome.
So that's where we're at. I'm going to show you guys later, right before I take my makeup off, what it's looking like at the end of the night. All right, so it's the end of the night, and I have had this makeup on for a really long time, it feels like. But it's been 12 hours since I initially put it on, and let's see how we're looking. So, it's pretty shiny, but I could blot that, so, whatever. But given that it's shiny and it went on matte, that's a little disconcerting considering that I said, I think this would be best for oily skin. I have pretty dry skin right now because it's winter, and so the air is a little bit drier, and I just think that this got pretty dewy on my skin. It's not oily at all, and so I just don't know if it would be best for oily people in the way that it wears. And the way it applies for sure would be great for oily people, but not the way it wears because it's very dewy. And I know it's 12 hours, so it's been a long time. I'm not loving the way it's looking around my mouth. I just think that it just looks creasy, and like right here it looks like super makeup-y and dry. I'm missing some right there because I blew my nose. But it's just like super makeup-y and dry, and it's emphasizing a lot of like not great texture, or like making it look like I had texture where I don't have a lot of it. And it's just like, look at like all this, like, you're getting like really close and personal. I'm just not liking the way it's looking and emphasizing things. My skin's been having some problems recently, and I just think it's kind of like bringing out the worst of that in the way that it's wearing. It's making it more prominent. So I just don't love it. Like, I really don't. I actually think that I'm not liking it as much as the Makeup by Mario, which wasn't my favorite. If you've watched the other videos, you know that one was lower based on my first impressions. So I'm going to see like how this continues to wear and stuff. Like, I'm going to keep trying it, of course, and testing it out. And I'll let you guys know in the final review video that goes up tomorrow that you definitely won't want to miss, because I talk about rankings, best application methods, who I think the foundation is best for, pros and cons, so on and so forth. So definitely, check that video out if you want to know how I really feel after several weeks of reviewing it and actually getting solid, opinions of it after the first impression. I'm interested to see how this foundation will apply with the sponge, because I think it might make it apply a little bit more naturally because it's a little bit drier. But I could be wrong. I definitely like this better than I liked the balm version of this foundation, like the Good Apple foundation, the Good Apple Balm foundation. But I just don't love it. It's not that great. I don't think it's worth $42. And I feel like this keeps happening with KVD beauty products for me. Like, I also tried their Good Apple concealer sometime last year. I think it was early last year, and I didn't really like it. So maybe I'm just not into what they have to offer, but I know some people are. But given how it's worn, I just don't see how it'd be great for really anybody's skin, because it goes on kind of drier on drier skin, and then it wears like this on drier skin, and it's very, very dewy, and it's just like breaking up, and it's emphasizing just like a lot of not great stuff. So yeah, we're not ending this series on the best note, but we still found some pretty good foundations and some great foundations throughout the series, so I'll let you know all about those tomorrow in depth. But yeah, this has actually been a great week of just testing foundations. I mean, it's actually been a lot longer for me, but I think it's been a great week on my channel of testing, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you are stumbling across this video and this is the first video you're seeing of mine, go check out the other Foundation 5 episodes if you like this kind of stuff. And if you're not into this as much, go check out the lifestyle content I've got going on. I do vlogs, thrifting videos, so yeah, and we'll be dabbling more into that kind of stuff this year as well. So you might want to check that stuff out and just stick around, join my little family, because I'd love to have you stick around and stay. And yeah, I'm just really excited for the review video. I can't wait to jump into all the details with you guys tomorrow. But that is it for now though, so I hope you guys have the best rest of your day, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's final video. Bye!